You're watching an anti-Asian hate march that is taking place as we speak. We will have the details as they come.
And Kent State President Todd Dyken announced plans to make KSU a more diverse and equal place. How he plans to do it?
Although we aren't exactly at the end of the semester, the moving out protocol is still the same as we fully switch to remote learning.
And tonight, TV2 is stepping behind the camera and taking a look at another side of student media. All this and more as your Wednesday edition of TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Tonight we start with a live look at the Stand Together Against Hate rally taking place across campus. Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm Gianna DaPra.
And I'm Troyano.
A faculty organization at the Kent State is gathering right now for a rally against Asian hate.
That's right, and the group hopes to show solidarity with those who have been affected by hate crimes. Our reporter Jenna Borthwick is live at the protest. What's it like, Jenna?
People here for the Stand Together Against Asian Hate rally. Thanks, guys. You can see right behind me there's a large crowd of over 150 people gathering for the Stand Together Against Asian Hate rally here on Kent State's campus. So they do plan to walk right now. They are talking, having a few speakers in front of us. Some of the speakers include graduate students, Akron and Kent City Council women and men, as well as people who work on Kent State's campus, and KSU President Todd Dyken. They plan to march here from the School of Music all the way down to the Kent State Rock, where some controversy happened last year. And Todd Dyken says they want to reevaluate and keep pushing for more support and being an ally for the Asian community. Now, some background. Their message is really just in supporting the Asian community, and these hate crimes against Asian Americans were really shined light on after the Atlanta spa shootings a few weeks ago. Now, according to a recent study by California State San Bernardino, the hate crimes overall in the U.S. are down 6%, but hate crimes against Asian Americans are up 150%. So it's clearly a problem here in the U.S. we have to address, but one way to do that is here on Kent State's campus. So you can see behind me, still a large crowd happening, and they just plan to walk later and continue fighting for people of Asian descent. And that's all I have for you guys right now. We'll keep you updated and have the full story tomorrow at TV2.
All right, thanks, Jenna. Kent State University is updating their strategic plan to include a campus-wide push for diversity and inclusion. President Todd Dyken announced the plans in a video emailed to the campus community this morning. The announcement comes after last week's incident where a racial slur was found on a poetry display near the library.
We need you to participate. Only through your involvement can we truly gain the insight we need to shape a better tomorrow for Kent State.
This video comes after the university announced an anti-racism town hall set for this Thursday. Some students, however, are worried that the Dyken's response is the only step the university will take to end racial inequality on campus.
I think this type of response is pretty typical of a university or institution, right? I don't really ever expect them to come up with some like radical plan for eradicating racism, right? And so not at all surprised, like I said, or inspired by his responses. I think the formula usually is to release a statement, create some anti-racism task force, create some climate survey, and then rinse, wash, and repeat. And I think that's exactly what they're doing.
Now, those interested in the town hall can register online. The meeting starts at 5 p.m. tomorrow.
Cold blizzard it felt like today. It was really hot. How did you feel about that?
Oh my gosh, it was the hottest day of the week, I think.
I know, 80 degrees.
Sweating out there.
Exactly,
I know,
80 degrees. Nathan, do you have anything for us?
That's right, I do. Good evening, Portage County. I'm Nathan Welsh with your Wednesday weather forecast. So right now it's 77, though it feels like 80. It feels like even more than that. And with that dew point at 48 degrees, we have humidity at 33%. Very light winds and visibility out to 10 miles. Now, looking across Northeast Ohio, everyone's kind of got the same thing going on, mid-70s all the way up to 80. And as we look across the rest of the state, same exact trends. Although up to 82 in Athens, they're even luckier. Now, looking into tonight, it's going to be 63. We're coming down, but of course, it's nighttime. And it's going to be partly cloudy and warm because, again, it's spring. Sunset at 7:57, so catch that after the show. Now, stay tuned. I'll have your 7-day forecast and more in just a bit.
Well, even though it's a bit early this year, the end of the semester is almost here.
That's right, and for on-campus students living in residential halls, you might want to listen to this.
Our reporter Alexandria Manthey talks with us about the changes regarding moving out. Hi, Alex.
Hi, guys. As spring break nearing, Kent State students are readying to move out of their on-campus housing. I spoke to Daniel Shoke from Residential Services to see what students need to do to prepare.
Those on Saturday, the 17th at 5 p.m.
The housing contract was updated for this semester due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Some students are going to travel, whether it's just to go home and visit family or to go on a spring break vacation. We could potentially be having students travel all over the place, and not wanting to bring all of that back to campus.
Students who are moving out will complete an online checkout via a recent resident services email. But before then, students have several steps to complete before traveling.
We just ask that they remove all of their personal property, make sure you take your trash out, defrost your fridge, and leave the refrigerator doors open.
All campus property must return to their original placement, including positioning of beds.
If you brought a bike to campus, make sure you take your bike with you because we usually have 100 or so left over at the end of each year by the area desk to make sure that you pick up any packages or mail.
With the move-out process, there are some charges and fees to be aware of.
If there are any damages, we look at the room condition report, commonly called an RCR, that you submitted when you first moved in.
Unlike last semester, Resident Services prorated the spring 2021 housing contract, so students are paying for fewer weeks overall.
Actually, any housing refunds available at this point. One of the reasons that we adjusted the spring housing contract was to kind of eliminate the need for that.
If students need to stay on campus past April 17th, they are able to apply for summer housing. For more information, visit kent.edu/housing. Reporting live in the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Alexandria Manthey.
Thanks, Alex. Now, construction season is here, and that means new funds for new projects. The Ohio Department of Transportation is planning to continue work in Portage County or begin projects worth up to $25 million. In Portage County, though, they are focusing the majority of their funds on traffic and highways, which means there will be some closures of exits and even some detours in the remainder of the year. ODOT will hold an event Thursday detailing this and more projects for the roads. And Portage County Children's Services is asking voters for additional funding after losing grant dollars from dealing with the cost of caring for children in need. Director of Portage County Job Family Services, Kelly Jo Jeffries, says the funding will help her department care for more about 200 children in foster care or in group homes from Portage County. A 5-year levy in Issue 1 will appear on the May 4th primary ballot for Portage County voters. If approved, the owner of a $100,000 home would pay almost $18 per year or a little over $1 per month.
If you haven't gotten your vaccine yet, no fear. There is still time to register and be on the list for this week. Stick with us for the details.
And as the Derek Chauvin continues, law enforcement is taking the stand today. Find out what they said as TV2 returns after this.
When I I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back. A vaccine clinic is starting on campus tomorrow for students at the Kent State Hockey Arena with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Manfred Van Duelman, Associate Provost of Academic Affairs, had given an update today saying this clinic is meant for students to get their vaccine before leaving for fully remote classes after spring break. The idea is to get as many students vaccinated while supplies last.
We have space for up to 5,000 students in the next days, and we may get additional, if we want to, we likely will get additional vaccines over the coming weeks.
Now, Manfred did say a good thing to note is that aside from tomorrow's clinic, students have already started getting vaccinated between the other major clinics in the area and around Cleveland. The school's main idea is to get as many students vaccinated before the fall semester, as they cannot require students to be vaccinated to return to school next year.
Advise that also at the state level that that's not something we currently can consider. So we are not currently considering requiring vaccinations for access to any part of campus, including living in the residence halls.
To register for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, go directly through the University Health Services website or by phone. Manfred says a lot of room is still available to sign up and appointments should still be open.
And moving nationally with the vaccine, the U.S. is approaching the halfway mark in getting the COVID-19 vaccine into people's arms. That's right, the White House says by the end of the weekend, nearly half of all adults would have had their first shot. The Center for Disease Controls and Prevention says that right now, nearly 42% of the over 18 population has received at least one dose of the vaccine.
Hello again and welcome back to the weather forecast. So tonight, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s going down and some clouds rolling in for the weather tomorrow. As tomorrow, we're going to see clouds into rain in the afternoon, unfortunately. I mean, we had a nice day today, so we have to pay for it in the coming ones. And yes, of course, tomorrow it's going to be still warm, which is nice if you don't mind getting a little wet. And as we look into the 7-day forecast into that spring break area, again, we got some more rain, partly cloudy. I don't think we're going to have a day like this, at least not for the next week, unfortunately. But yeah, temperatures, they're going to stay high for the next couple of days until they kind of drift down into the 50s. It's how it goes here in Ohio. And that is all for today and for the semester. I've been Nathan Welsh, reminding you to enjoy your spring break and to make sure you have just enough gas in the tank for the following weeks. I know I don't.
All right, thank you, Nathan. As the Derek Chauvin trial continues today, members of law enforcement are testifying on police policy and procedures. Now CNN's Daryl Forges shows us highlights from court today.
Raise your right hand. One after another, veteran members of law enforcement taking a stand in the murder trial of Derek Chauvin, testifying on police training and procedure.
Is this a use of force?
Yes, sir. The prosecution attempting to cut the heart of the defense's argument that then Minneapolis police officer Chauvin was following his training when he knelt on George Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes.
We don't train leg neck restraints with the officers in service. And as far as my knowledge, we never have.
On Tuesday, the use of force instructor Testifying officers are trained to only use force that is proportional to the threat.
We want to use the lowest level of force possible.
Witnesses also said officers are required to de-escalate situations.
We have the time to slow things down and reevaluate, reassess,
and render aid.
If you don't have a pulse on a person, you'll immediately start CPR.
But in cross-examination, the defense maintaining Chauvin's actions were appropriate.
Does this appear to be a neck restraint?
No, sir.
And argued use of force depends on the situation.
There is no strict application of every single rule, agreed? Or every single technique?
That is correct.
An attorney for George Floyd's family says the testimony from members of law enforcement could make a big impact on the case.
That really told us and shows us that Chauvin was very wrong, and what he did was a serious offense.
In Minneapolis, I'm Daryl Forges.
According to unemploymentpua.com, North Carolina, South Carolina, Nevada, and Idaho recently added a work mandate to its jobless benefits. The states say some or all recipients will now have to search for work or grow their skills. There are 19 other states that have also brought back this requirement, and states suspended the mandate after the pandemic forced states to lock down last year.
Former Vice President Mike Pence has launched a new political advocacy group titled Advancing American Freedom. The group's message is to, quote, promote the pro-freedom policies of the last 4 years and defend those policies from liberal attacks and media distortions. The announcement included a list of Trump allies and former administration officials, including Kellyanne Conway and Larry Kudlow.
We will preview the Kent State track and field team's upcoming relay, and the women's soccer team takes on Ohio in a MACtion Thursday matchup.
And after that, the Kent State School of Fashion class of 2021 Hall of Fame inductees are rolling in. Find out who's the next inductee as TV2 News returns in just 90 seconds.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Welcome to Wednesday Night Sports. My name is Ian Herrmann. We will start tonight by taking a look at the upcoming track and field event. The Kent State track and field team will send 57 athletes to compete in the Tennessee Relays beginning tomorrow and ending on Saturday. The first events of the meet will be the men's decathlon and the women's heptathlon starting at 11 a.m. The Flashes have 8 members ranked in the top 3 of the MAC conference competing over the weekend. Some names to look out for is Grace Tennant, who ranks first in shot put and women's javelin, as well as Scott Benko, who is first in men's javelin. The Kent State women's soccer team travels down to Athens to take on Ohio University in their potential last game of the regular season. The last time these two teams played each other earlier in the season, the Bobcats came out on top 3-1. The team is currently on a 4-game losing streak, losing by a combined score of 13-3. The Flashes will look back to their back-to-back shutout wins to begin the year to get them the shutout and get them out of this slump. The game is tomorrow at 4 p.m. The Cavs will head to Oklahoma City to play the Thunder tomorrow at 8 p.m. The Cavs are coming into the game after a win against the Spurs, where Darius Garland scored a career-high 37. The Thunder are currently on a 3-game losing streak. Both teams are fighting to make the playoffs as they are 3 and 4 games back from the 10th seed in their respective conference. The game will focus on some of the young stars to lead their teams to victory. Colin Sexton versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be the focus of this game. And now we will head to Cleveland, where the Royals took on the Indians earlier today. Shane Bieber on the mound for his first start since opening day, but Salvador Perez will get a hold of that one, taking it out to center field in the top of the 4th. Royals up 1-0, but now top 5th. Bieber gets Benintendi to strike out there. He had 12 strikeouts on the night for the second straight game. But bottom 6, Jose Ramirez gets a hold of one and drives it to deep right field to give the Indians the 2-1 lead. Now bottom 7, Karinchak in, and he gives up a RBI single to Nicky Lopez. That earned run will be to Bieber. He gets 2 on the day, gets the no decision, but Royals tie the game 2-2, top 7. But bottom 8, Jose Ramirez yet again gets a hold of another one out to right field, and it just gets over the wall. All the RBIs for the Indians today, they win it 4-2. That is all I have for sports for tonight. My name is Ian Herrmann. I hope you all have a great rest of your night.
And as students are graduating, TV2 celebrates an integral part of student media here at Kent State. Find out which when TV2 returns.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
Welcome back. Now, the Kent State School of Fashion announced that fashion designer and activist Kenneth Cole will be inducted into the School of Fashion's Hall of Fame in the class of 2021. The award celebrates the outstanding contribution to fashion made by an individual. To commemorate the induction, Cole will give a talk titled Building a Global Fashion Brand on Purpose, Friday, April 30th at 6 p.m. The event is free and open to the public.
And Kent State's Exploratory Advising Center receives national recognition as they have been rewarded with 2 prestigious awards. These national awards include the NASPA Excellence Bronze Award for the academic advising careers and graduate professionals. The other award is the NACADA Region 5 Innovation and Advising Award for its Major Action Plan. This award brings light to its professional advising team that has set creative ideas and advising strategies. Now, Kent State Student Media offers students a variety of organizations to choose from, and after 4 years, like many other Kent Flashes, it's time to move on.
And our reporter Marz Anderson has more on an extraordinary Flash who took care of his fellow Flashes. Hi, Marz.
Thanks, Shane. College has always been about new friends and new experiences, and before you know it, those friends are family. With graduation approaching, it's time to say goodbye, but in the raddest way possible. Take a look. Just a few doors down from the TV2 newsroom is Black Squirrel Radio, another essential part of Kent Student Media. At the helm of the station is senior Brandon Lewis, the current general manager.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Brandon's World here on this Saturday.
Lewis has spent 7 semesters with Black Squirrel Radio, hosting his own sports talk show, Brandon's World, and working his way up to becoming the GM.
I've always been dreaming of being in radio my whole life, so I thought this would be a great opportunity. So I came in here one day, auditioned, and just fell in love with the place.
Lewis has cerebral palsy, a disorder that affects your ability to move and maintain balance and posture. But make no mistake, what Lewis lacks in leg power, he makes up for in attitude, drive, and a willingness to help others.
Communication is better, support, just a lot of just the small things that help encapsulate just, a successful operation.
In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, Black Squirrel Radio lost over half of its DJs and shows, currently airing a total of 19 shows with the addition of pre-recorded programming.
So for me, the biggest adaptation was, okay, how can we get BSR for this one semester sort of back to pre-pandemic levels? Get, all these things back that didn't exist in the fall.
Lewis made sure every DJ and staff member at the radio station felt motivated to continue creating content for the station each week.
We knew he was listening to us and listening to our ideas and making sure that we're accomplishing the goals that we wanted to accomplish as well as the goals he wanted to accomplish.
Lewis, a journalism major who graduates this spring, says his dream is the opportunity to host a sports talk radio show and hopes to see passionate DJs come to the station and take it to new heights.
Getting back to the 56 shows where everybody's in here interacting 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day.
Brandon's World aired its last show Saturday, and with students leaving early for spring break, Lewis hasn't gotten the proper send-off. But Kent Student Media is wishing the best of luck.
I got to spend my last semester with you in charge and making sure that you're there for me and supporting my ideas, and I just want to say thank you for that.
You've done things the right way, and we can't thank you enough for everything you've done.
Thank you, Brandon, for everything, and good luck. Until next semester, reporting live in the Franklin Hall studio, Marz Anderson, TV2 News.
Thanks, Marz. And going off of that, as we start wrapping up the in-person semester, we have some graduates at TV2 on our hands, like my co-anchor here, Gianna.
Yes, it's my time is coming to an end here at TV2 in Kent State, but I couldn't be more fulfilled with the experience and memories the station has brought me. I started out in entertainment news as a reporter for the Blurb, and through different responsibilities, I found myself in the news desk and anchoring and reporting for the evening newscasts. I found my love for broadcast journalism through TV2 and all of the amazing people I have met along the way. I want to acknowledge Gretchen Hoke and Suzake for consistently helping me become the reporter that I am today. Although I'm sad to leave this place and my friends here behind, I'm excited to see what the future holds.
I couldn't think of a better way to end this newscast, so that will do it for your final Wednesday newscast for the semester.
Be sure to follow our website, KentWired.com, and our social media at KentWired. And be on the lookout for TV2 Online when we return after spring break. For the final time, Portage County, I'm Gianna DaPra.
And I'm Shane Troyano. Have a great night, Portage County.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother
and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys?
Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.